Hey everyone, this is Walter, and I'm back here with more stories I found on Reddit. Today we're going back to the relationship stories. I might be using things like Reddit relationships and Reddit am I the asshole, but whatever. Stories don't necessarily have to be about romantic relationships, but I think the ones today are. Let's get started then with relationship woes from Reddit. This story was originally from Relationship Advice, and it's about an open relationship. You know, do what you want, but if you don't define a relationship in the first place as open, and one person just demands to open it up, that usually doesn't lead to good things. The stereotype is things going worse for the man, but that is not the case today, and you are going to hate this girlfriend. My 20 male girlfriend, 24 female, wanted an open relationship and is now mad at me and wants it closed. So me and my girlfriend started dating roughly a year ago. It's a gray spot as to when we really started dating, or I'd give an exact date. So 3 months ago, my girlfriend comes to tell me she'd like to have an open relationship, experiment a little, etc. She's only slept with one guy before me, she wants to know what's out there, yada yada. Yeah, I was hurt. I expressed that I wasn't super keen on it, but she insisted. I figured she probably has someone lined up, and it's not like I plan to marry this girl, so whatever. Be free. I lamented for a few days until my ex messaged me. She wanted to meet up, get some closure, cool beans. We go out, we talk a bit, she just got out of a relationship and I explained I'm apparently in an open one. She gave me a semi-pained look because she and my girlfriend are aware of how much I value monogamy. We stayed and talked for a few more hours. I went to her place, things almost got intimate, and I stopped her until she mentioned it was an open relationship now. I nodded and didn't really not want sex, so we did it. It really restored my confidence and helped me start to get into the open relationship thing. I'm a bi top, so I ended up reinstalling Grindr and haven't had a night where I can't find something or someone to do. My girlfriend and I occasionally had sex and we still spoke to each other and stuff, but I never really mentioned who or how many people I was sleeping with. After all, she said this was about freedom, and I feel free as a bird. I still get to experience emotional comfort, affection, etc. with my girlfriend and try new things and meet new people. About 2 months ago, I stopped feeling so depressed all the time, and I started to work out more since one of the guys I've been sleeping with is really into yoga and cardio and asked if I'd like to get into it. I've lost a little over 20 pounds since, and I'm still overweight, but I physically feel much better. Today, my girlfriend, she's really happy about the way things are, and I couldn't have agreed more. I gave her a kiss and got up to go meet up with a girl my ex introduced me to. She's really sweet, cute, overall a very fun person. The only other girl I've slept with since this started was my ex. I learned today I'm into a new kink and left after it was over. I walk into the house and girlfriend is all over me. I start to undress, she starts to give me head, and stops 3 seconds in and asks me where I'd just been. I explain what happened, and she gets up and tells me we need to talk. I get dressed, sit on the couch with her, and she asks me if I've been sleeping with other people. I was like, yeah, no shit, it's an open relationship. She asked how many, and I said I wasn't keeping track. Apparently that's the wrong fucking answer because she burst into tears. She's only slept with 2 other dudes and it was just so she knew what her options were. I explained that she was free to do that, and during that time I explored my options as well. She asked how many women I'd slept with. I said 2. She got mad and started screaming at me as to how I could lose count at 2. I probably should have shut up right then and there, but instead I said, because I'd have to add the dudes in. She went to the bedroom and cried for a while. About an hour ago, she came out and demanded I close the relationship, never speak to anyone I've been sleeping with again, and never talk about it again or she'd leave me. Huh? I genuinely don't understand what she expected. She knew I was bi when we were just friends of friends. Why does it matter who I sleep with? I was genuinely enjoying being free like she told me to, and I assumed she was too. It's not like I slept with her friends or anything. It was mostly dudes. And as much as I enjoy her companionship, I like the freedom this entails, and I like having someone to work out with. I like learning about what I enjoy sexually. I'm having fun the exact way she asked me to. It's not like she wasn't sleeping with those guys frequently, so I don't get why she's upset. Why is what I did not okay? Yeah, I mean, it's not okay because she's selfish. She didn't think this guy could actually get laid if they did this arrangement, and now she's jealous about it. I'll admit that even in the context of an open relationship, it's probably reasonable for exes to be off limits. Normally, at least. These demands are ridiculous, though. Pretty childish telling him he could never talk to anyone he slept with again. Well, there is most certainly an update to this, so let's read it. So she came home at 12 a.m. to tell me she'd completed her last hurrah and she was ready to talk. When I asked her what she meant, she stated she slept with someone else for the last time and was willing to call things even. She restated the terms, meaning I'd lose my workout buddy, the sweet girl I met today, my ex who cheered me up, and a few other dudes I now speak to casually who I've slept with. I said I wasn't sure and I had some questions for her, and she was willing to at least talk about things. I asked her if the two men she'd slept with she'd lined up before, and she said yes. She admitted she found them more physically attractive than me, and that was her motivation for it. That she didn't want to live life never knowing what it's like. When I asked her what she meant sleeping with someone who was fit. I was a little hurt, but I knew she wasn't really wrong, so to speak. I'm not fit. It's something I'm working on, but I'm a little upset that her motivation had nothing to do with exploration and freedom outside of visuals. That it wasn't the sex, but my body. That it wasn't even my personality, but the way I look and how much I weigh. I'd like to take a second and point out that I actually weigh less than her overall. I'm 6'2" and 255 pounds, and she's 5'3", 305 pounds. I've never had an issue with her weight. Even the things that we couldn't do as a result didn't bother me. That is a BMI of 54, my friends, and anything above 30 is defined as obese. I wasn't going to fat shame, but I feel like she started it at this point. She admitted she didn't think I could, and I quote, con anyone into sleeping with you. She went on to say she doesn't understand how someone would only want to sleep with me and not the emotional stuff. I won't lie, I got mad and I said some mean and vindictive things to hurt her because I felt hurt. I shouldn't have lost my cool and I did. I've posted the mean things she's said, so I don't feel like it's right for me not to admit what I said. I asked her how she managed to get these guys to sleep with her more than once, and that lying down like the beached whale she was and gurgling on her own spit was far from my ideal sexual partner, but I never decided I'd rather fuck someone else because of it. Apparently it hit too close to home because one of the guys wouldn't talk to her anymore, and the other dude told her she needed to be more proactive in bed. She called me a and I told her at least men want me to fuck them, and she started crying. We yelled at each other for a while until it turned into me yelling at her while she cried until I left. I realized how much more hurt I was about the whole open relationship thing and really unloaded on her. A lot of you like to point out that I didn't plan to marry her. I want to remind you all this was 9 months into a relationship at 20 years old that I said yes. I'm not the brightest, but I don't think normally 20-year-old men are planning to marry someone that early on when I don't have any real money or my own house and my car is a beater. I genuinely cared about her, and before this I was planning to get an apartment with her. I'd saved up money and took her somewhere nice every month despite not having a lot of money. I'd participated in the relationship in ways I'd never felt compelled to before until she asked for an open relationship. I stayed up the first night alone crying because she didn't come home and she had the dude pick her up from her place while I was over and asked me to watch her place while she was gone. I kept thinking about if she got pregnant with someone else's kid and it tore me up. I didn't even feel like a man anymore. I said the next few days my ex messaged me, but when I look over the text and call logs, it was 2 full weeks of me just going to work, coming home, and going to bed. I was hurt that my ex noticed how broken I was over this and that my girlfriend bragged about how much fun she'd had her first night. It was a deep visceral pain that I buried with sex, and I was so damn mad she had the audacity to be hurt over it. How dare she hurt me like that and then get mad at me for just trying to regain my confidence and make the best of things. I was furious and it all spilled out at once. I'm home, my roommate is home, and he's making some cake and tea for us to eat and talk because I'm a mess right now. My workout buddy is coming over and offered to sleep, like cuddling, not sex, with me tonight because he knows how much I was hurt by this. He's actually pulling in the driveway right now. I'll try to respond in the comments, but I don't know how much longer we'll be up. Edit, I get she's my ex and all, but you guys really don't have to insult her weight. It was poor manner to me to take that jab at her, and it's not very kind. Although I don't think being overweight should be glorified, or normalized for that matter, but it's not very nice. Call people out for the things they say and the way they behave, not their appearance. Edit 2. He slept with 2 girls and some men from Grindr. Obviously he's an incel. I think the word you're looking for is slut. I have low standards for looks and I offer to supply the weed and hookups. I could be 700 pounds and smell like anchovies and people would show up. Plus I offer to cook food for people and make breakfast for them if they spend the night. Like I'm doing right now for Workout Bro since he has work in a few hours. Final edit, I love you all, except for that dude who told me my life will be an eternal hell for my sins and debauchery or something like that. I'm going to take a nap since I woke up to make Jim Bro food after like 2 hours of sleep. He'll be coming over later today to hang out. I'm much better but still very tired. Mwah, be safe and use rubbers. Anthony Palumbo disagrees about the rubbers, by the way. What I really hate is the fact that she said they could call it even. It's not even, and it wasn't ever meant to be. She's already burned her bridges with her partners, so she has nothing to lose by not talking to them anymore. On the other hand, this guy's losing people he would still want to interact with, even if he couldn't sleep with them. And I cannot believe she admitted that she was only willing to do this if he couldn't manage to get laid. I hate all of her actions, really. Going out the first night and leaving him to watch her place, then telling him how great of a time she had? You can't convince me that wasn't malicious. There's no other reason to do that. And as for making fun of her weight, yeah, I did that, but really it's the hypocrisy that bothers me. I am stunned that she would make fun of someone's weight when he's much smaller than her. And a foot of height is a huge difference in how you carry weight. I also liked how he almost denied sex with his ex until she had to remind him that he was in an open relationship. You can tell how young the author is. He's kind of just figuring out with this open relationship how much fun it can be to be single as an adult. At least I thought it was fun. Anyway, let me know what you think about the story or my video. But that is about all the time I have for you today. Thanks for watching, everyone. If you liked the video, please give it a like. If you have something to say, the comments section is a great place to do that. I do see comments for videos I put out recently. If you're new here and want more similar content, consider subscribing. This is a period of activity. I pulled the judgment card upright the other day and it sounded promising, so here we go. Also, big thanks to my generous patrons. They went and donated to my Patreon to support me directly, and it helps out a lot. Okay, now it's really almost Halloween, so there will be a special out around that time. Probably about Lucas Werner, who was just today blaming his behavior on everyone but himself. Check it out. A person becomes a reflection of how you're treating them. If you don't like how someone is acting, look at how you're treating them. Lucas, people treat you bad because of your behavior. I guess it's just a vicious cycle by now. Well, have a great night, everyone, and don't let people walk all over you. Especially if their BMI looks like this.